Hello, guys. I went live for the first time, so it's going to be kind of sketchy probably until I figure out the lighting and all this and I start doing better. So, I'd like for y'all to pay attention to something in life.
For the sins of all humankind. I've heard sort of climate change activists say it, that it's Mother Nature keeping us in check and telling us that, yes, we can limit our air travel and we can limit our emissions if we only try to. We can do it for a virus and not climate change, etc., etc. I find it all terribly biblical and apocalyptic in a funny sort of way. You know, like Mother Nature is this deity that's sort of a vengeful God and wreaking vengeance on humankind, etc.
Now, Prince Harry, he suggested that COVID was Mother Nature's punishment as he launches his new Nature channel. Have a look at what he said.
It's been a universally tough year for everybody. You know, someone's of the pandemic. It's almost as though Mother Nature sends us to our rooms for bad behavior, to really take a moment and think about. It certainly reminded me, as it has probably reminded all of us, how interconnected we all are. Not just as people, but through nature. We take so much from her.
Let's put him aside right now. Back to things that are a little bit more important.
I just got that on video. What was that?
What was that?
That's a big gun.
Yeah. The boom heard around Central New York. Good evening, everyone. I'm Christy Casciano.
That's something I want to talk about is the booms that's been happening all over the world. So, what's up with that? People are hearing crazy booms everywhere. You know, they can't find the source. People think it's people digging underground, but it really ain't. Let's continue on.
That humongous boom rolling the region. Did you hear it? That mysterious boom heard for miles. Calls were coming in from all across Central New York about the noise. It shook windows. It rattled our pets.
Oh, I hope I got that. I just saw a comment. Holy cow, I think that was like a shooting star, but in the day.
He heard an explosion that shook the house.
They're from Maryland, Michigan, Ohio, and Canada, and they also heard that boom.
If we felt a boom on Wednesday and can't describe it, explosion could be seen, heard, and even felt in 5 states, including Maryland. People in some areas could see fireballs. Others describe the sound as being similar to a clap of thunder.
A brightly burning meteor has been caught on camera in Japan. The fireball can be seen through the clouds for a few seconds before it exploded, lighting up the night sky. A similarly bright shooting star was seen in the sky above Tokyo earlier this year.
Indonesia's Mount Ile Luwotolo has erupted, sending 4 kilometers of smoke and ash into the sky. This comes 8 years after the volcano in the island of Lemata last erupted in 2012.
On Lemata Island in Indonesia's southernmost province.
See, guys, things are happening everywhere, global. It's like monuments that are silver and here and everywhere. So, what's up with all that? A lot of people are trying to say it's fake. A lot of people are trying to say it's aliens. Who knows? But whatever it is, it's something and someone. And if you didn't hear, the Yellowstone is getting to the point where it might erupt too. So, back to this.
This is Mount Ile Lewotolok. Thousands usually live on the slopes of the volcano, accustomed to its quiet grumbling close to their homes. But days ago, a large eruption triggered panic among the local population. Ash shot more than 4 kilometers into the sky. Indonesia sits on what's known as the Ring of Fire, which makes it vulnerable to frequent seismic activity. It has 147 volcanoes, and several have been highly active this month. All
Highly
volcanoes
active.
across different islands are now on the second highest alert level.
As we go to air tonight, bushfires are bearing down on Kingfisher Bay Resort on Fraser Island.
Yeah,
The
where's
hotel
her
is
mask?
closed, with guests ordered to get out while they still can.
Fraser is now a fortress. Unless you're a resident, you can't go over.
Talking about a heat wave over
Weather records
Australia.
fell over the last 24 hours as Sydney sweltered through its hottest November night ever. Paramedics were stretched to full capacity, receiving more calls for help
God's trying
than
to
the
talk
average
to us,
Australia
guys.
Day or New
We're
Year's
not
Eve.
listening.
But predominantly it's part of most parts of New South Wales. Fires are continuing to rage across the state.
Yeah, Rob, just on that, I guess there's a sense that this fire season can't be anywhere near as bad as the last one. There's nothing left to burn, but that's not the case, is it?
No, clearly not. Those grasslands, which make up a huge part of the state, weren't even there for the last few years. So,
heat waves are not unusual in Australia at this time of year. But with
it's being fueled by ferocious winds, including a gust of 95 miles an hour.
It's already been a record-breaking wildfire season in California, and now fire crews are dealing
California
with at least
just
3
can't quit the
new
trouble
out-of-control
there.
wildfires.
Powerful winds pushing the flames in all directions, scorching an area larger than 3,000 football fields overnight.
This has already been one of the worst years for wildfires in California's history. More than 4 million acres have burned
Very worst
statewide
year.
this year alone.
Fires are also raging in Australia. Crews are working to put out brush fires burning on Fraser Island. It's the largest sand island. Local media reporting the fire has spread to over 197,000 acres of land.
And I want to get to whoever makes these videos. He calls himself Jason A. Look him on YouTube. He's very interesting, and a lot of his videos are very good. So I want to promote him and try to get him out bigger because his stuff needs to be watched. He inspires me to do this stuff that I'm doing.
That's more than half the size of the island.
Big solar flare. We just had one not long ago, I think.
Now, in a special BBC report,
I think it was
Antonio Guterres also said
27th
that
of
there is
November.
no vaccine for the planet.
But it'll be like
2020 has been a year of
2030 before the Earth
extremes.
feels the effects.
Humanity is waging war
Listen,
on nature.
We are broken.
This is suicidal. Nature always strikes back.
The UN's annual climate report read like a list of natural disasters. Record hurricanes in the Atlantic and Central America, record wildfires, and record temperatures. California alone saw the biggest fires
hold
in its
on.
history this summer.
You know, news like this makes you need to grab something like this, the good book. All this. You know, people always worry about what we're going through or how this affects their lives, or they don't take the time to think about being kind to people. You know, I do. I try, at least. I'm not a perfect person in the world, but I try to be nice at work. I try to do as told. That's all you can do in this world. But let's continue with the news and not about me.
The hottest air temperature on the planet in a century, if ever. And this year has seen higher temperatures the world over, on land, sea, and especially the Arctic.
Collapsing, deserts are spreading, oceans are choking with plastic waste, and apocalyptic fires and floods, cyclones and hurricanes are the new normal.
Terrible wildfires raged across Australia, burning vast areas, and there were huge wildfires in California and even Arctic Siberia. The UN Secretary General says the world now faces a moment of truth.
Wildfires have once
never gonna
again
end,
returned
guys.
to Australia, along with record-breaking temperatures. The apocalyptic scenes of last year still roar. While there is no vaccine to fix the planet, 2020 has proven human beings are capable of drastic action in the face of a crisis.
And we
Rule of two is something
It's- it really
we
is.
start in France, where the government is under pressure after police clash with protesters in the capital, Paris. Demonstrations erupted over a new security bill that would restrict the right to publish images of police officers.
Police and demonstrators clash violently as night falls in the French capital. Journalists and participants document the events, publish videos and images. Some might.
It's events like this we all should be ashamed of doing. What is wrong with the world? People are protesting at the littlest, stupidest things. People always hollering racism now. Back then, it used to never be this bad. But now, it's unreal.
Call this a fitting end to a day of protest for freedom of expression and against a new security bill. This would make it a crime to publish a photo or video of the face or any identifying element of a police officer with the intent to cause harm. The protest began peacefully. Media organizations and human rights groups organized marches across the country. Tens of thousands gathered in Paris alone.
Look, everyone's writing to me. Just a quick one, because we'll talk in the new year about this. Quick one to my viewers about what's called the Great Reset. Everyone's writing to me. Just a couple of thoughts on that.
Well, the Great Reset is going to be the segue from the pandemic. Now that they've got everybody obedient in terms of not leaving the house and doing what they have to do, and we've seen actions from the police in Victoria which are unthinkable in this country. So
really
there's a segue
have,
from
guys.
there into making sure that we control our emissions, that we do what we're told to do with regard to the great, what they call the Green New Deal, which essentially is to pursue policies which are going to be extremely expensive and draining on economic activity.
I think your words were a fascist experiment being pushed by controlling elites.
I don't think that's an exaggeration.
No, I don't think either.
It is 5 years since the world came together in Paris to agree for the first time that every nation needs to play a part
5
in
years.
tackling climate change. Some progress has been
about
made,
time.
but not enough, according to the UN Secretary General.
Every country, city, financial institution, and company should adopt plans for transitions to net zero emissions by 2050
Everyone.
and take decisive action now
You,
to
me,
put themselves
them.
on the right
Everybody
path.
It
needs
is
to
a
worry
bold
about it.
agenda, putting tackling climate change at the very heart of the United Nations role. But the science is
Climate
clear, the
change is
Secretary
a
General will say,
serious
unless
thing
the
going
world
on.
reduces emissions,
Y'all may think
we
it's a
face
joke,
disaster.
but it really ain't.
You know, and I'm sure everyone's interested in that.
And you
That's
know, that
scary,
brings
isn't it?
something to my mind.
Yeah, and
You know, Tesla, Elon Musk has made Tesla energy sufficient cars made off electric. They're not putting pollution in our air no more. He wants us all to go electric. Wouldn't be a bad idea if it helped save the globe, you know? The ozone layer could heal itself. We just got to quit fucking it up.
it's a subject which we've covered a lot of, and I'm sure we'll continue to talk about it. Yeah.
There's the monuments I've been talking about. There's 3 of them already appeared. Well,
Another
there's more now.
mysterious backyard in San Luis Obispo County.
Wow, another monolith has this time along California's central coast. It's made of stainless steel, stands roughly 10 feet tall. This is the third structure of its kind to appear in the last
What
few
is
weeks,
that,
and
guys?
the second in the U.S. People discovered a monolith in Romania
Is it
last
fake?
week
Is
around the
it
same time
aliens?
its twin disappeared.
I wish
from a
we'd
Utah
figure it
park.
out because I'm
The
tired of hearing
California
about
structure
it.
has 3 sides,
No.
just like the one that was
But
here
it
in
is a
Utah.
cool event that's
The first
happening.
monolith was spotted in Utah, weeks after which another sprung up in Romania.
As we
You
enter
see,
the
they
last
both
month of
look different.
2020,
The year is throwing a new curveball.
One could be
A
fake.
mysterious monolith has appeared in Atascadero.
See, look at that one. It looks just like the one in Utah, I think it was.
Hikers have been climbing roughly
Clear.
2 miles up Pine Mountain
That other
all
one
day to take
looked
a
like
look.
it was
Some think it's just
somebody
artistic
put a
work.
machine to it.
Others have theories that are, well, out of this world.
What if it's beaming electrical, from one part of the earth to another part of the earth? And if the aliens are real, what if that's their way of energizing their spaceship?
A metal artisan is weighing in on this monolith mystery, or who or what could be behind it. Dan Patterson, founder of Santa Barbara Forge, hammered out some possible options. He says the metal structures could be a six-sided love letter from the universe, or perhaps the work of space aliens.
Leave a comment.
He says the images he's seen are so perfect, he's trying to wrap his head around how they're made.
Could be very difficult. We're getting into the mysteries of, like, say, maybe Stonehenge, how they might have done that. I see this as really part and parcel of that kind of oddity that the Earth throws at us that we just don't have an explanation for.
Please support me, guys.
Patterson and his crew specialize in custom heirloom quality gates, railings, and other metal pieces, but so far they say no orders for a metal monolith.
I know that was a short clip. I wanted y'all to see what I watch, where I get some of my info from. Global news. That's all it is. All you gotta do is pay attention to it. On another hand, I want this podcast to be about news and world stuff. And I was thinking about throwing a little bit of game and stuff in it and going to the RC world a little bit with it. Speaking of that, I want to show you one of my RC trucks I got. I'll show you how cool that thing is. Like I said, I'm learning how to do all this. Once I get better, my shows will get better eventually. But this is right here. If y'all can. It's a Savage. It's big and heavy too. And it's got a motor. It's a big block power K 5.9. It's a Savage XL. And all them other stickers, I added to it. It didn't come like that. And proud Christian. So, that's the start of my show today. I'm going to leave it short and quick this go around, just because it's my first time and a little nervous about it. And I'll eventually break my nervous. It'll go away eventually, guys. So, oh, look in the background. If my sister's watching, them guns that's sitting right there. That's what I got my nephews